Placebo effect. The placebo effect is when you feel better after taking a treatment that has no real medicine in it, simply because you believe it will work. It works. It's proof of the incredible power of your mind to influence your body. Halo effect. This is when we form an overall impression of someone based on one positive trait, and it influences how we see their other qualities, even though you don't have any evidence to support those assumptions. Bystander effect. Bystander effect occurs when the presence of others discourages an individual from intervening in an emergency situation. Imagine you see someone faint in a crowded place. You might think, there are so many people here. Surely someone else will help because everyone is thinking the same thing. No one ends up helping the person in need. Dunning-Kruger effect. The Dunning-Kruger effect is when people with low skills or knowledge think they're better than they really are, while experts often think they're not as good as they actually are. This effect highlights the gap between actual skill levels and self-perception, often leading to inflated confidence in beginners and self-doubt in more knowledgeable individuals. Confirmation bias. Confirmation bias is the tendency to favor information that confirms one's pre-existing beliefs while ignoring or dismissing contradictory evidence. For example, if someone believes that eating chocolate is healthy, they will focus on studies supporting this view and overlook research showing its negative effects. Anchoring effect. The anchoring effect is a cognitive bias where people rely heavily on the first piece of information they receive, the anchor, when making decisions. For example, if a shirt is originally priced at $100 but marked down to $50, buyers perceive the $50 price as a great deal, even if the shirt's actual value is much lower. Bandwagon effect. The bandwagon effect stems from the idea that people often follow the crowd or conform to popular opinions or actions. It's driven by the desire to fit in, avoid missing out, or be part of a perceived majority. Pygmalion effect. The Pygmalion effect refers to the phenomenon where higher expectations lead to an increase in performance. For instance, if a teacher believes a student is capable of great things, the student is more likely to excel. Zynic Effect. Ever wondered why unfinished tasks keep nagging at you? That's the Zynic Effect. It suggests that people remember uncompleted or interrupted tasks better than completed ones. This effect highlights how our minds keep unfinished tasks active, prompting us to return to and complete them. Spotlight Effect. The spotlight effect is when you think people are paying more attention to you than they actually are. You feel like you're in the spotlight, but in reality, others are not noticing you as much as you think. Scarcity Effect. The scarcity effect is when the perceived value of something increases because it's scarce or limited. For example, a limited edition item becomes more desirable because there are only a few available. False consensus effect. The false consensus effect is the tendency to overestimate how much other people agree with us. We assume our beliefs and behaviors are more common than they actually are, which can lead to misunderstandings and overconfidence in our views. It's like living in a bubble of agreement that can burst when exposed to diverse viewpoints. Sunk cost fallacy. The sunk cost fallacy is when people continue investing in something because they've already put so much time, money, or effort into it, even if the returns are diminishing or negative. Social loafing effect. Social loafing is the phenomenon where individuals put in less effort when working in a group compared to when working alone. For example, in a team project, some members may contribute less, assuming others will compensate. This can often lead to reduced productivity and motivation within teams. Self-fulfilling prophecy. The self-fulfilling prophecy occurs when an individual or group holds a belief or expectation about someone or something. This belief can shape their actions and interactions in such a way that it eventually confirms the initial belief, even if it was originally unfounded. Ikea Effect. The Ikea effect is when people place a disproportionately high value on products they partially created. For instance, you might value a piece of furniture you assembled yourself more than an identical one that's pre-assembled. This effect highlights the psychological attachment to self-made items. Endowment Effect. The endowment effect is when people value something they own more than something they don't own, even if both items are similar. For example, you might want more money to sell a mug you own than you would be willing to pay to buy the same mug if you didn't own it. Hawthorne Effect. The Hawthorne Effect is when individuals modify their behavior because they know they are being observed or studied. For instance, employees may work harder or change their habits when they know they are being observed by their seniors.